قال الزركشي في كتابه تشنيف المسامع ممزوجا بالمتن ما نصه. Said Az-Zarkashiyy in his book Tashneef Al-Masaami', blended with the original text, quote, مسألة, case, في انفراد الله تعالى بالخلق وإثبات الكسب للعبد, concerning singling Allah Ta'ala with creating or making, creating unique to Allah and confirming acquisition for the slave. Sod, that means asl or origin, that means the original text. So the author, and that's, who's that? Who's the author here? Tashneef Al-Masaami' by Az-Zarkashiyy is the explanation of Jam'ul Jawami' by Ibn Subki, Tajuddin Ibn Subki. It's a book in Usul al-Fiqh. Jam'ul Jawami' is a book in Usul al-Fiqh. In the back of that book, there's a section on Aqidah. So, Az-Zarkashiyy explained Jam'ul Jawami' in a book that he named Tashneef Al-Masaami'. So, when we say the original text, we mean the words of Tajuddin, the son of As-Subki, Ibn Subki, the son of As-Subki, and the explainer is Az-Zarkashiyy. So here, Sa'd means asl, original text, means the words of Ibn Subki. هو خالق كسب العبد قدر له قدرة هي استطاعته تصلح للكسب لا للإبداع. والله تعالى خالق غير مكتسب والعبد مكتسب غير خالق. Very nice statement. He says, he is the creator of the slave's acquisition. He predestined for the slave a power, which is the slave's ability that is suitable for acquisition, not for creating. And Allah, exalted is He, is a creator, not an acquirer, and the slave is an acquirer, not a creator. Sheen means ash-sharh, the explanation. Al-firaq fi hadhihi al-mas'alati thalatha. The factions in this case are three. Ihdaha al-jabriyyah. One of them is the jabriyyah, those who deny the will of the slave. I was looking into translations for this. I found the word determinism, but I don't think that it's appropriate. If any of you know better, and that's the right word, let me know. Or if you know a better word for Jabriya. Qalu, they said, those who deny the will of the slave, they believe in coercion or compulsion, that Allah forces the slave in all of the slave's motions. Qalu, they said, La qudrata lil abdi asla. There is no power for the slave fundamentally. وهو باطل لما نحسه من أنفسنا من الاقتدار. And that is invalid. That saying of theirs is invalid because of what we sense within ourselves of power. Meaning, the evidence for our power is known by necessity, by observation. The evidence for our power is known by observation. Because one knows, he knows in himself and sees in himself the ability to choose to move his hand or not to move his hand. So denying that is very deep stupidity. ثم يلزمهم وقوع التكاليف على ما لا نقدر عليه. Furthermore, their argument makes binding on them, against them, that accountabilities or responsibilities have occurred, are confirmed for what we have no power to do. According to them, we have no power. Fundamentally, that's their own words. But we are accountable? How would we be accountable if we have no power? So we are accountable without having any power to do what we were commanded to do, according to them. And that's definitely blasphemy. وَالثَّانِيَةُ الْقَدَرِيَّةِ, the second group is the deniers of destiny. Also, I found some word in English, existentialism, I think also doesn't really work. So also let me know if you know better, if that works. It has the meaning of denying qadar, but it has something else as far as I could tell. But maybe it is that. وهم جمهور المعتزلة, they are the majority of the Mu'tazila, the Qadariyah. In fact, I don't know if there's any Mu'tazila who are not Qadariyah. As for if we said the Mu'tazila are the majority of those who deny the Qadar, then that's easier for me. قالوا, they said, إن العبد مستقل بإيجاد فعله بقدرته وإرادته. They said that indeed the slave is independent in creating his action by his power and his will. وَدَوَاعِيهِ, I'm not sure what وَدَوَاعِيهِ means. I was thinking about the statement that we read a few sessions back of Al-Ash'ari. What did Imam Al-Ash'ari say? He said, we don't deserve to be called the Qadariyah because we don't attribute the Qadar to ourselves. And so the Qadariyah are the people who attribute the Qadar to themselves. So at the moment when we read that, it didn't occur to me how people say we make our own destinies. So those are Qadariyah, the people who believe that they make their own destinies. وَلَوْلَا ذَلِكَ لَمْ يَحْسُنُ التَّكْلِيفُ وَالثَّوَابُ وَالْعِقَابُ. According to them, had it not been for this, that we create our own deeds, then it would not be appropriate that there be accountability and reward and punishment. لَكِنَّهُمْ قَالُوا, however, they said, إِنَّ تِلْكَ الْقُدْرَةَ وَالدَّاعِيَةَ مَخْلُوقَتَانِ لِلَّهِ. They said, but that power and the da'iyah are created by Allah. Meaning they're saying, we have the power to create our own deeds. That power, Allah gave it to us. So He created our bodies, and He created our power to create our own deeds.
Power off.
That's a contradiction right there. Because if He created their power, then khalas. That means their actions are created by Allah Ta'ala. وَقَالَ كَثِيرٌ مِّنْهُمْ إِنَّهُ عِنْدَ وُجُودِ تِلْكَ الْأَشْيَاءِ يَجِبُ الْفِعْلُ. And many of them said, indeed, upon the existence of these things, it is necessary that the action come into existence. وَعِنْدَ عَدَمِهَا يَمْتَنِعُ. And when those things are missing, the action is impossible. وَإِذَا كَانَ الْفِعْلُ إِمَّا وَاجِبًا وَإِمَّا مُمْتَنِعًا كَانَ غَيْرَ When these circumstances exist, then the deed must exist, and that means it's necessary. And when these circumstances don't exist, then the deed could not possibly exist. That means it's impossible. And if it's necessary or impossible, we have already said that then it could not even be a subject of power. وإذا كان الفعل إما واجبا وإما ممتنعا كان غير مقدور. If the act is either necessary or impossible, then it is not even a subject of power. فوقعوا فيما فروا منه. So they fell into what they ran away from. وهو عدم حسن التكليف على قاعدتهم, which is the lack of appropriateness of accountability according to their rule. الثالثة, the third faction, القائلون بأن العبد غير مستقل, those who say that the slave is not independent. وهم جميع أهل السنة, and they are all of the people of the Sunnah. So there you found them in the middle. What did Allah say about the nation of Muhammad? وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. Like that, Allah made you a moderate nation. Allah made you a nation in the middle. So here we're in the middle. We didn't say slaves have no will, and we didn't say slaves create their own deeds. So we said slaves do their actions by their created choice. That's in the middle. And we didn't say Allah doesn't exist, and we didn't say Allah resembles the creations. We said He exists without resembling the creations. So we're in the middle. وَقَالُوا, and they said, Allahu khaliqun li af'ali al-ibadi. Allah is a creator of the actions of the slaves, meaning the creator. I'm just translating literally. كَمَا هُوَ خَالِقٌ لِأَعْيَانِهِمْ, just as He is the creator of their bodies, their selves, or their persons, just as He is the creator of their persons. كَمَا قَالَ تَعَالَى, just as He said, exalted is He. قُلِ اللَّهُ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Ayah 16 of Surah Al-Ra'd. Say, O Muhammad, Allah is the creator of everything. وَقَالُوا, and they said, لَا خَالِقَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, there is no creator but Allah. Just like they said, كَمَا قَالُوا لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, there is no God but Allah. وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Ayah 96 of Surah Al-Safat means Allah created you and your deeds. وَمَا يَعْمَلُ ابْنُ آدَمَ لَيْسَ هُوَ الصَّنَمُ إِنَّمَا هُوَ حَرَكَاتُهُ وَأَكْسَابُهُ. And that which the human does is not the idol. Rather, it is his movements and his acquisitions. That's what the human does. Meaning, why he's talking about the idol here, where'd that come from? This ayah that we're talking about, that's from the story of Prophet Ibrahim talking to his people. قَالَ أَتَعْبُدُونَ مَا تَنْحِتُونَ. He said, do you worship what you carve? وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah created you and what you do, or Allah created you and your deeds. Allah created you and your doings. So, Az-Zarkashiyy says, what the son of Adam does is not the idol. Rather, what he does is his movements and his acquisitions. Because the Mu'tazila, how are they going to try to get out of this ayah? By saying that refers to the idol. It's not the idol that's Because he's saying the idol, isn't it made from wood or stone or whatever? Allah created that. It's not the idol that's the doing of the slave. It's the slave's moves and acquisitions. And so Allah is their creator. وَقَدْ حَكَمَ بِأَنَّهُ خَلَقَنَا وَخَلَقَ مَا نَعْمَلُهُ. Allah has judged that He created us and He created what we do. وَفِي الْحَدِيثِ, and in the hadith, إِنَّ اللَّهَ صَانِعُ كُلِّ صَانِعٍ وَصَنْعَتِهِ. Indeed, Allah is maker of every maker and his making. عَمَلِهِ, meaning his work. An act, a doing, a work, an acquisition, an earning. وَلِأَنَّ الْمُحْدَثَ لَا يَصِحُّ أَنْ يُحْدِثَ كَمَا أَنَّ الْحَرَكَةَ لَا يَصِحُّ أَنْ تَتَحَرَّكَ. And because an event, it is not valid that it makes something occur. Just like a movement, it is not valid that it move. فَاللَّهُ تَعَالَى خَلَقَ الْقَادِرَ وَخَلَقَ قُدْرَتَهُ. And so Allah Ta'ala, He created the one who has power, and He created His power. The created one who has power, He created him and his power. وَقُدْرَةُ الْقَادِرِ كَتَأْثِيرِ الشَّمْسِ بِالْحَرَارَةِ. And the power of the one who has power, the created one who has power, the power of the created powerful one is like the effect of the sun by heat. فَالشَّمْسُ خَلْقُ اللَّهِ. The sun is a creation of Allah. وَتَأْثِيرُهَا فِي الْأَشْيَاءِ خَلْقُ اللَّهِ أَيْضًا. And its effect on things is a creation of Allah also. لأن المؤثر إذا كان خلقا يكون الأثر خلقا. Because the effector, the one that affects, if it is a creation, then its effect would also be a creation. وإذا كان الفاعل خلقا يكون الفعل خلقا. And the doer, the one who does something, if the doer is a creation, then the doing would be a creation. وإن قلت, and if you were to say, إذا كان الله تعالى خلق الفعل فكيف يعاقبه على شيء خلقه? Question mark. If it is that Allah Ta'ala is the creator of the action, then how would He punish for something that He created? فنقول, we say, كما يعاقب خلقا خلقه. It is just as He punishes a creation that He created. فليس عقوبته على ما خلق بأبعد من عقوبته من خلق. And so His punishing for what He created is not more far-fetched than His punishing whom He created. He punished for what He created, whom He created. The meaning is, the created thing, it is not valid that it create. Just like the movement, it is not valid that it moves. And so Allah Ta'ala, He is the one who created, the one who has power, and He created His power. And so the power of the powerful one who is created is like the effect of the sun in its heat. And so the sun is a creation of Allah, and its effect on things is a creation of Allah also, because if the effector is created, then the effect is created. And if the doer is created, then the doing is created. And if you were to say, if Allah is the creator of the action, then how does He punish for something that He created? We say, just as He punishes whom He created. And his punishing for what he created is not more far-fetched than his punishing whom he created. He does as he wills, and he judged as he wills, and he is not asked about what he does. They are asked.